what most people have been saying is that it helps them come back into better alignment, whether that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of it. How would you guys say that the cleanse really helped you cut back into alignment with yourself?
Tyma, do you want to go first? You haven't
Hello.
spoken yet.
Thank you for including me in the chat. Um, I would say that I'm one of those people that may have felt a little bit worse than better after doing the intestinal cleanse, but it's interesting because I feel better overall health-wise, but somehow I feel more congested in a way. But definitely I lost so much of pounds. Like I literally lost 12 to 13 pounds from the first cleanse. And I haven't even done the liver flushes, which I very look forward to. And I'm inspired by everyone on this journey. But in regards to the intestinal one, I also expelled what seems like thousands of parasites. So that also came through with that. And it was very overwhelming, very emotional, but I'm very, very grateful because I've never seen something that works this fast and this efficient in a couple of days. Like, it's crazy. And Govi and I have been reading a lot about, how to remove mucus plaque before we found out about ZenCleanz, and people were doing it for months upon months. And I'm sure you can do it a couple of times and still get more out of it. But just the genius of the enzymes. And, we never thought that enzymes, we knew that you could have them in fruits and whatever, but we didn't think that it was a whole world that could completely change your body. And it makes sense because they, digest things and they move things. So I think the enzymes, what did we say? Like we were joking around in a group and saying enzymes is the new thing, like it's the new black.
I said enzymes are the new, what do you call those things that people take? Probiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everyone's obsessed with probiotics. And I'm like, that doesn't do anything if there's a bunch of garbage in your intestines. I also was in the same boat with Tyma after the cleanse. With during it, we were got a lot of energy, and then halfway through, we were like, okay. And then we had to power through. And then I lost probably around 7 pounds as well, 7 pounds from the intestinal things. And then I got out, then I got out a lot of parasites as well, but a lot of eggs. So about this many, that literally, the toilet was full every time I went, and they were yellow, that size. It was insane. And and then afterwards, it took about a week to feel better. I know it was highs and lows where I'd have really I would be euphoric and elated and happy, and then I would be just miserable and depressed, and then it would be up and down and up and down. And yes, I'm also very happy that we discovered ZenCleanz because it's so simple, so straightforward. When we read, what did we read? 3 or 4 different sites that were multiple different approaches for time and product. I'm sure they were effective, but this one was the most, nurturing for your body. And so, and like you, this is a leg of the journey to go on. It's not the first one, and it's the first one, but it's not the last one. And I'm really looking forward to doing Journey and Inspire.
Yeah. For the new ones. Yeah. So you guys just did the intestinal cleanse together?
Yes, at the same time. It was really nice having a buddy to be like, hey, are you feeling this?
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
It was a party. It was a party.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Tell me more about how it was doing it together. Because my first couple ones I did with people, and it was night and day. Because doing it by yourself, it's kind of scary. You're okay, am I going through this alone? Am I going crazy? You're just so many things going through your head. And if you have something to bounce off of another person or vent or just experience it with them, what would you say your experience was doing it together?
It was really fun.
She lives down in Irvine, and I live up here in Penn Valley, so California, same time. But so we started it right at the 9 o'clock time as suggested. And then it was what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to try to take a bath or lay down. I don't know. My head's pounding. you know, and then we would like call each other and be like, oh, you know, so it was really beneficial. I definitely like recommend always get a buddy.
And the emotional side, like so much programs and beliefs and old identities showed up really, really harshly, like in my face. And, you know, some of them I kind of, unfortunately, like fell into a little bit, and that was okay, like to kind of just feel the feeling all over again and like honor the fact that, okay, this is all right. Like, I'm not going crazy. Like, I don't know, really interesting things like, you know, like jealousy, like mother issues, like all types of very intense, disgusting emotions. And it makes sense because they're all coming out that way. But one of like a really interesting part doing it together was it like, it feels way easier, although it was really hard, but somehow it felt like it's, you know, possible. And we didn't realize that it was going to be like at least 3-4 days after. Like, it wasn't just that day, it was just like a whole week, because we still had to fast, and we weren't kind of prepared so much for our bodies not being able to eat after. We thought we could we could eat, so we experimented with some things, and that was horrible. Like, I vomited the day after because I just attempted to drink milk. It was, my body was like a hard no. So
Cleansing. Have you guys done any other types of cleanses, or just this one?
Yes, a lot. We both started with coffee enemas like how many months ago, Tyma?
oh my god, what, like 5 or 6? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
I would say
Time
like
has been
5.
really weird with these flushes. Like,
Yeah, 5 or 6. And so we've been doing coffee enemas. Like we did them like almost every day for a
yeah, for
while.
3 months.
And then we also were doing turpentine cleanses as well to get rid of parasites. Tama was particularly prone to parasites because of her history with stomach issues, and I would definitely say like poorly functioning liver.
Yeah, since a young age,
yeah.
I can't digest anything. So like, it's been bloating journey for like at least, I don't know, as long as I can remember, which I think accumulated so much parasites. Like, I cannot believe the amount that came out, which I'm sure when I start the liver flushes, it's going to be also another fiesta there. So I'm just kind of regulating from the other cleanses so I can start the other journey. Sorry, Govi, go ahead.
That's okay. And then, so yeah, turpentine, not very often as we used to, but like, you know, once in a while. And what else have we done? I've done probably 8 so far of the Epsom salt liver flushes. Oh, sorry. Am I unmuted? I'm unmuted now. Okay. So 8 or so of the liver flushes. I tried one immediately after the ZenCleanz, probably around like 2 days after. And that's kind of what did an extra round of like flushing where I got all the eggs out, which was so disgusting. It's like one of the most horrific things I've ever gotten out was like this like bucket of eggs. Like it was like I can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, how is that inside of me? And yeah, so I'm going to continue doing the liver flushes because I've had a history of being in the hospital for years and been on antibiotics for around 3 years straight. So I want to make sure that my liver is happy and well.
On the body. How would you guys say your experience with like other styles of cleansing compare to the enzymes and like the ease of the enzymes?
Well, everything just comes out really easily. You don't have to force it. Mm-hmm. And it's like relaxing, but it's relaxing, but also, you know, there's the emotional side as well. Tama and I are also in the same coaching group, so we have the same mentor. So we've been working on like, you know, how to be present in your body and the different emotions that come with like the liver, for example, gallbladder and liver, resentment and anger, and like large intestine is letting go and small intestine is digestion, right?
Yes.
And so like all those different things, how they're tied to like the cleanses and when you release them. yeah, Chinese medicine specifically. I really, and then Tyma, you're also on something called Classic Pearls right now.
Yeah. I'm on these very interesting pearls, and I really feel like they have the same kind of integrity of ZenCleanz. Highly recommended. They work on kind of also working with your body in a way. They're all herbs on Chinese medicine, but they work with kind of connecting all your organs in a way where it flows with your body, like the Chinese medicine way. Because a lot of herbs we can take, like, you know, the whatever like antiparasitic herbs and whatnot, they're good, but they don't really work with the flow of like the chi of the body. I'm not really like the most knowledgeable in Chinese medicine, but one of our friends, her name is Taya, she's a Chinese medicine doctor and an herbalist. She's been prescribing these pills for us, and they're really interesting. They work on also detoxing the liver and the lung, and on a kind of a cellular level, you know, like ZenCleanz really feels like really action oriented, and like the pearls kind of like a little bit on the cellular level. It's interesting. So both of these combined, very powerful, an interesting journey.
Fullness. How did you guys feel that during your cleanse or even the day after?
I felt so full and good and like nourished. It was like I was eating soup that was just like there. I was pleasantly surprised by that. I definitely want to order some. I think it's black vacuum, or
Yeah.
there are those the enzymes, right? That you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, there's several. Black vacuum's good for oil and fat in the intestines and the liver. Fiber crystals are like the broom. Quantum particles are digestive, and then you have the liquids that you can drink every day.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get on those just for like maintenance, and they taste good and they feel good for the body, and to also help the fatty liver decompress, because I have 2 lipomas that are going down in size since I've started detoxing my liver or flushing it out. So that's really awesome. And yes, so the enzymes were very, very nourishing and delicious, except for the drink. The drink tasted like soy sauce that had been left in a car, and there was some kimchi thrown in there, and it'd been in there for like months. I was like, this is awful. And like, you know, you haven't eaten in like 2 days, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Struggling and dying.
Mm-hmm.
We called it the soy sauce, the one that
fermented really soy sauce
and pineapple juice.
Yeah. Oh,
as well.
Yeah, it's something that most cleanses don't include or let people know about. They're like, yeah, there's a huge emotional side, and you have to be present for it. The more present you are, the more you're going to get out. A lot of people are just like, can I get this over with so then I can get back to texting and eating candy?
It's definitely not that. It's definitely like a whole change, because what I realized is that I crave way less processed foods. Like, it's very interesting how the whole system kind of changed in the way, you know, partially it's the parasites, partially is, I'm sure, all the bacteria and the whole like network of whatever came out in the plaque definitely contributed to seeing things differently. And as you said, like craving things that normally would be too on the healthy side, but now like I actually like want it, like simple foods, things that are very nourishing, broths, things like that. Like I definitely crave fermented foods and enzymes, like enzyme based, like fruits, more than I used to. Personally, I had a lot of cravings for processed foods all the time. And I think the particular thing that I would note after the ZenCleanz was like almost 70% of that craving is gone, maybe even more. So that was a huge win, because I would get like really hardcore pangs of cravings, like to, you know, cakes and like really shit food, you know, it's like, why am I even here? And then now I look at it and I'm like, it looks disgusting. Like I don't even want to approach any of these foods. So
yeah, like that you said last week. Last week you were going somewhere where it was very familiar to you, and you had a craving for the cake, and you tasted it, and you're like, I had a donut last week, and I'm just like so disappointed. you know? It's just like, this
It
is
tastes
sad.
different. It tastes worse. Like I
Yeah.
could taste the vegetable shortening, like I could taste the shit ingredients, and I'm not liking it. And I wanted to eat it just out of memories because it was like I went back to like my old university and there was like cake shop and it tasted horrible and it was kind of disappointing, but I was like, cool, we're on to another level here, you know?
When I was saying, oh yeah, aha. Like, did you have a moment you felt that sort of aha moment?
Definitely. Like another main thing that happened to me was my whole face kind of slimmed down. Like there was so much puffiness, like over here in my face, like a lot of like congestion or something. Like it did not look like this. And I felt kind of like my whole body was just like, shoot, like kind of, you know, it's like so much needed to leave. And then everything started to calm down. My skin like relaxed so much, my eyes relaxed, like something like a whole energy relaxed my whole body. And I was like, oh, something very interesting is I felt more feminine. I felt softer and I felt like my whole energy started to become way less scattered and kind of like I tend to want to like do things quickly and reach out quickly and I think it relates to digestion a lot. Like I don't take my time and it relates to the stomach, you know, like kind of hastiness and symbolically like I'm not digesting life, you know, and I felt like after that it kind of gave me such emptiness, as you said, in my like intestines, in my heart, in my whole body just felt a little bit more empty to take life in slower and just to be more feminine. This is how I felt. Like it was very interesting, calmer, you know, like yin, as they say. I felt like I was always in the yang, you know, and maybe that was the dampness. I'm not sure like if these are the right terms, but it feels right. So that was kind of
Absolutely.
my aha moment.
And I mean, the last question I always ask people is like, what do you do to create a better self and a better world? Because I feel like by creating that better internal environment where we're slowing down, we're listening to our bodies, we're listening to our environment, we're being present, we can be of service to other people. Like we can't be of service to other people without first doing it within ourselves. So what would you say you do to create a better self and a better world?
Very, very touching point, actually, because I was thinking about that recently. Before all of this, when you're really sick, I still feel sick. Like I'm not completely where I want to be, obviously, but I'm way better for sure. And before I felt like I was more selfish. I couldn't have any space for other people in my life. And it was saddening me because I've always wanted to help people in health and wellness, either in life coaching or psychology or wellness like this. And moving on, I definitely want to apply as a ZenCleanz affiliate and really coach this, especially in where I'm from. I'm from the Middle East and specifically Saudi Arabia, which I don't think anybody knows about it over there. And I think it's going to be life changing for so many people there because there is a solution, like I think that's what kind of finally made me relax is because I'm looking for a solution, I'm looking for something. As you said, you've done so many things. Like, yeah, herbs help. Yeah, like these kind of things help, the green detoxes, whatever, like, but nothing actually solved the problem. Like, so I'm very grateful for things like ZenCleanz, and I love the bio of ZenCleanz on Telegram, which is integrity cells. Like that is so, up in my values. And yeah, I feel like now I'm more open. I want to help people. I'm looking forward. I'm actually creating a small program right now for kind of light cleanses, just coffee enemas, things like that to get people kind of starting, like more of the intro type of things. And then I want to try the liver flushes myself. So I can't coach that if I don't do many of them first for myself, and then later on offer it to people and just genuinely just have the emotional support because chronic illness sucks. It's horrible. It's hell. And like there's nothing worse than this. And I've been following the liver flush gal, and I've been very inspired. Yeah, very, very inspired by her journey. I relate to so many things and your journey as well. And it's like, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Like, but there is. And I'm so grateful that there's like this Telegram group for ZenCleanz, because I see so much people like with even worse conditions than me, and they're getting better, and it's so inspiring. And it's like really about helping others also, like as much as it's a company and it's like, a product, there's a community behind it, and it shows in the product. So